Assalamu alaikum, I'm Ashley Pearson Khan with Muslimi, and I'm sitting down today with artist Khaled Siddiq, all the way from the UK. He's visiting Toronto, and I'm super excited to get to talk to you today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I'm super excited to talk about all the things that you're doing. I know we're coming out of the pandemic, so what has that been like for you, like maybe during the pandemic versus now coming out of it? What is that like?
Yeah, I think the pandemic definitely gave a lot of people a chance to sit and reflect, not just artists, just humanity.
Right.
I think a lot of people were going really fast in their life and wasn't necessarily knowing where they were going, what they were doing, what was the reason for what they were doing. So I think that pause that it gave everyone across the world. So, I mean, I know some people it affected negatively, you know, mental health kind of went up and situations like that, but I think sometimes when the world is going very, very fast, it is very healthy to just stop for a bit and just and reassess, reset your intention, make, you know, a lot of big decisions I think were made in terms of within families and within relationships and jobs, careers wise, just everything, which I think was a positive thing, even though at the time like it was quite frustrating, especially for me as an artist. No shows, not performing anywhere, not really having the motivation to create music because there's not really any experiences that I'm going through except staying in my house and playing Call of Duty. So there wasn't a lot happening for me to kind of be inspired to create, but it, like I say, it was still good because it gave me that chance to really think about where am I going with my life, what do I want from life, and yeah, because I reset an intention. So me personally, maybe because I'm an introvert, I kind of enjoyed the lockdown, and when it started to ease, it came at the perfect time. I was like, okay, I'm bored of it now, and then it started to ease. So alhamdulillah.
So it was good timing for you.
yeah, it was good timing for me, definitely.
Yeah, I think introverts were kind of okay with it, and extroverts were kind of going crazy. And as an extrovert myself, I think now it's like, oh, now I have to get out of my sweatpants and leave the house. You know, I have to get dressed up and go out and do things.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now that we're out of the pandemic, you've started traveling again, and you're doing some shows. What is that like? Was it hard to get back into the swing of things, to get comfortable again, or did it feel kind of natural to get back out there?
I think it was a half and half. A lot of it, like as soon as I started it again, I think my first show was in Turkey. I kind of fell back into it quite fast. Leading up to it, maybe I was like, oh, I'm not sure, I've not performed in quite a while. But it's kind of like when you kind of get on the stage and start, everything's kind of, oh, that goes there and this goes there, and you kind of fall into place quite fast, muscle memory or whatever you want to call it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh yeah, I remember this, and maybe like 5 minutes into my set, I was just normal again. So definitely grateful to be, you know, traveling again, because when I'm traveling, that's when you're getting new experiences. So you have new things that you want to talk about in your music and things that you want to share. So I think naturally as human beings we should we should be in this earth as travelers. You know, this is not a temporary accommodation. You know, we're moving on, inshallah, to an eternal life. And sometimes this life can feel eternal, and that's why problems get so enlarged, because you think this is forever. But just as you wouldn't really care about the furniture in a hotel room or the wallpaper, it's like, well, we're only here for 8 days or whatever. It's not the problem. The problem is still the problem, but it's the perspective of it is how you respond to it. We're not going to be in the hotel forever, so it's not that bad. If this was your home, you'd be like, oh, we need to change the sofa and the paintings. But it's like, oh, we're here for 8 days. We're going soon anyway. So kind of with that in mind, I enjoy being in the state that I'm in right now, traveling, meeting new people, talking to new people, seeing new places. So definitely very grateful to be back on the road and back into traveling.
Yeah. So you've been in the industry for a while. I want to talk a little bit about maybe some potential struggles that you've seen. You know, a lot of Muslim artists, it's hard to sometimes stay within, you know, your religion. You kind of want to go outside of that because you want to, you know, maybe grow your audience, and you do get the attention of non-Muslims sometimes, right? But is there a kind of a struggle there?
I think maybe a few years ago there was a struggle because when I started out, I was definitely aiming as to, this is the audience that I want to attract, this is the content I'm going to make for them. I want to be a role model, so to speak. some would say that those kind of aspirations might have been a bit naive in the beginning, trying to be this kind of perfect figure. And as I kind of continued my career and interacted with the Muslim community, I saw that it's impossible. Basically, like you
can't please everybody.
Yeah, and that it's impossible. And when you realize the true impossibility of it, then you start to get a bit more free. So maybe that happened maybe like, I don't know, 3 years ago, where I started to make decisions and start to express myself, which maybe it hasn't traditionally been done. I shouldn't say traditionally, because Islam is a tradition that expands 1400 years. So I can't talk about the last 50 to 100 years of how Islam has developed and say that's tradition. But taking that into consideration, I may be expressing myself in a way that a lot of Muslims they're not really used to it. Like, oh, this guy's rapping, or he's not making the type of songs that we would traditionally call nasheeds or whatever. And once I saw that, I knew my intentions were pure and I was doing it for the right reason, and ultimately I wanted to bring people back to the remembrance of Allah. But the way that I wanted to do it is obviously going to be influenced by where I'm from, where I who I grew up with, the friends, the environment. I can't pretend to be an Arab. I can't pretend to be from Pakistan or from Morocco. Like, I can only be what I am. And right. I feel like it gives me a unique perspective, just as everybody is unique, a unique perspective as to how I view the religion. And because of the carefreeness that I kind of started to and have been kind of taking the direction, I'm not so much focused on the Muslims as to say this is for Muslims. Right. There's something a bit insincere that I feel about that, because it feels like it's just a marketing thing. And because I could do that, it's very easy. I'd know exactly what to do, the songs to make, what to wear in the music videos, and to get all of the money. But it's like, is that really the truest expression of myself? Is this really going to help people? People care about just raw, real human experiences. People don't want an angel. I'm not saying, oh, that's why I'm going to act crazy in order to relate to people, but they want to see the whole picture. Yes, we have a angelic side that we're trying to move towards and trying to live in our day-to-day lives, but at the end of the day, we're human beings and we sin.
Exactly.
So when someone's open and they're in their music and they're talking about their journey and their struggles and like I say, not in the traditional way of just kind of the singing praises, let's call it devotional music. I kind of try and just do music, like I say, just about my life. And seeing that it's attracted the non-Muslim audience in a way, because I'm just a human being at the end of the day. Yes, I'm a human being that believes in Allah and His Prophet Sallallahu and His book, but I'm a human being having a human experience, dealing with pretty much the same issues as Tom and as Sarah and as whoever. So once you can kind of tap into that, then they'll find out about, oh, it's faith inspired. Like, he actually has a religion that he's using to maneuver through the world. And then I think that's what's been interesting people more, and I've been gaining attention more from the non-Muslim world, which in turn has then a kind of a bit made the Muslims support me more, because you always get supported. When you get support outside is when you get the support from your local community, wherever, as it kind of goes. So in my intention of just being me, it's naturally opened up my audience to non-Muslims, and obviously still Muslims more so, but it's catching more of a non-Muslim ear. Maybe like I'd say like 90 to 10%, but it's still and I think the more I continue to go down this road of just making music, and obviously inspired by my faith and my morals, and everything will kind of guide that, but it's still just me being a human being. I think that will start to balance out more, and there'll be more and more non-Muslims, because at the end of the day, the Islam has been sent to humanity. It wasn't sent to Muslims, it was sent to everybody. So if me as a Muslim artist, if my music is not sending that message to everybody, I think there's a problem.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. At the end of the day, we're all human, and if you constantly try to seem perfect, people are going to see through it eventually, right? And when you're honest and transparent, then you do kind of connect with people more, because everybody has struggles and things. So I think you made a really good point there. So you're traveling now, you're performing, so anything we should expect in the future, anything you want people to know, maybe something new coming, anything like that?
I think I'm coming out of, like, businesses are starting to thrive again. Like, even my own self, seeing myself, I'm starting to thrive again as an artist, as a musician. Like I said, I've been traveling, maybe, well, not a lot, but I've been able to, the world's opened up more in the past 6 months or whatever, maybe past year or whatever. And with that, now I'm inspired again to write music, to make music, to talk about my new experiences, that I've been going through. So I'm going to be planning to kind of release the new wave of, because it's been quite a while since I've kind of consistently put out, you know, music videos and songs and stuff like that. So with the inspiration of this trip and traveling, and you expect to see minimum like one music video a month. That's like gonna be my standard, inshallah. Hopefully I can stick to it, but yeah, that's going to be my intention, just putting out content, and just, you know, just for the people, and getting over my perfectionism and trying to make everything perfect and overthinking, and just giving it to the people. Yeah, inshallah.
Well, we'll have to be on the lookout for that,
inshallah,
then, inshallah.
Please do, yeah.
Inshallah, yeah. So where can people follow you and maybe find your nasheeds?
So my name on Instagram is just Khaled Siddiq, but instead of an A, it's an X, because someone took my name on Instagram, so I had to be creative. So it's KHXLED SIDDIQ, and just you could just type Khaled Siddiq on YouTube, and then that's only really where I'm active, is just Instagram and YouTube. I'm doing TikToks here and there, but I feel like I've just been forced to do it because of like times are changing. So I'm trying to maintain my own dignity whilst, you know, putting out content which I feel comfortable with. I'm definitely not going to be doing any dances. I'm not going to stoop that low, but I'm not saying it's low, but like for me, I just can't do it. So yeah, just my name.
Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to our artist Khaled Siddiq for joining me as well. Be on the lookout for more interviews, articles, and all things Muslim coming to you on Muslimi. Thank you so much for joining us. Assalamu alaikum.